there, Pop-Tarts. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, the summer months coming around tend to lead me towards spread designing a lot more. When it starts to get hotter, I think more about designing new spreads and that kind of thing. It seems to be more of a summery activity for me, and it could be because traditionally tarot readers are quieter business-wise in the summer. We're not as snowed under with orders. We don't have as much to do. It's not as client heavy in the summer. I think because tarot is very, internal and very self-reflective, and summer is much more of a convenient time for people to go out and get their self-reflection in nature and things like that. They might feel more social, or they might just want to be catching those rays and maybe doing a little bit less hardcore personal development work. That's one of my theories anyway. So I guess you have more time to think as a tarot reader about designing spreads, making new things, getting excited about new things, and you can really take it to the point of fruition rather than just kind of playing with ideas and then putting them away. So I want to create a few videos explaining some of the new spread designs that I've been working on. I'm really excited about the 3 that I'm showcasing that have recently come up for sale on the shop that I'm now giving to clients. This first one that I'm going to be talking about is actually a reading for readers. Now, I love this kind of reading. I love this kind of spread design. I think it's really clever when people actually have a look as readers at what kinds of things they would need in a spread to help them to be more effective, to help them deal with any blocks around reading cards. I think there's something really meta about a reading for readers. I really enjoy that. So this is my take on that kind of tradition, doing a reading that is aimed at helping readers to improve, helping them to really harness their power and give the best, most nourishing readings they possibly can do. So I want to stress before I begin that this is not to do with whether or not you're a pro or whether or not you just read for friends. It doesn't matter if you're not pro right now but you want to be in the future. This reading caters for everyone, the true readers reading. It's really just to help you at whatever stage you're at with the cards. If you're giving readings in any capacity and you really want to just check in with where you are, where your strengths are, where you want to go next on this incredible journey, the true readers reading is a really good one for you. And I'm going to go through the spread positions now. Just to avoid confusion before I begin, because there has been confusion in the past when I have done spread explanations or broken down spread designs. This is not a reading that I am doing for anyone. This is not a general reading that I'm doing for everyone. This is just a setup to show you the 6 card positions. It's a visual aid, basically. This isn't even the way that you're obligated to set it out. If you want the cards in a different kind of shape, that's fine. I just like to have a visual aid there. I think sometimes it helps people a lot to actually see the shape of the spread, if you like, but I'm not going to be turning the cards over. This isn't about interpreting the cards or anything like that. It's just a nice sort of thing to look at. It's a good setup to convey what the spread will look like when it's laid out. And so I took the liberty of getting my Vintage Wisdom Oracle out by Victoria Mosley, just because the backs are so gorgeous on this deck. It just looks very visually pleasing. So I'm not going to be turning the cards over. Again, this is not a reading, so it's just a setup so that you can see how it looks. And the amethyst and the rose quartz, again, just to make it look a bit nicer. But it's always nice for me to pull out my amethyst and my rose quartz, and it's never far away from me anyway, so why the heck not? Okay. So, the true readers reading, as I mentioned, it is a reading for readers of Oracle or Tarot, doesn't matter. If you read the cards, then this is for card slingers, I guess you could say. So up in the top left hand corner we have position number 1 for the true readers spread, and that is your current card slinging superpowers and how to wield them. So this one is all about tuning into your strengths, recognizing them, owning them, celebrating them. So it's a really nice way to begin the spread, really nice and positive, very high vibe, just looking specifically at what your strengths are at the moment as a reader. When you turn this over, it might really surprise you, it might flummox you, you might be really stumped and you might need to think about it, or you might get a really strong message and know, like, yes, that is my strength, that is what I'm bringing to the table, that is the kind of reader that I am, and that's what I really can work with and use, you know. I think some people are more aware of their strengths than others, and I think sometimes when you are questioning your abilities as a reader, or you're not sure where you want to go with it, sometimes it can be difficult to acknowledge the strengths and the superpowers that you have and the ways in which you are a good reader. So I think this first card speaks to that quite a lot. The second spread position here, the middle one in the top row, represents your ideal clients or querents and where to find them. So really, with this card, if you're doing this spread for yourself, you might just want to use this card to represent your ideal clients or querents. You may want to do another card to represent where to actually go out and find them, or how to attract them to you, how to build that audience if that's what you want to do, that kind of thing. For me, when I do this reading for clients, I only draw one card for your ideal clients and where to find them. And normally what I do is I use this card more as a representation of the ideal client, the demographic of the reader, and then I really use my intuition and just go off of whatever's flowing in the moment to give that second bit of information about where to find them, how to make those connections, how to build that audience, you know, how to get in touch with the people that could really use the service that you're offering. But you might want to do two cards for that position. It's totally up to you. And then moving on to the third spread position, which is the last on this top row, your current weaknesses and how to make improvements. So this is basically the balance from the first card, which is about strengths and superpowers, what you're good at. The third card is obviously much more your pitfalls, your bad habits, the things that you feel you're weak on, and how to make improvements. You know what, I've just thought you actually could draw a second card for each of these, because the first spread position is your current card slinging superpowers and how to wield them. So you could draw a secondary card for, you know, how to use them, how to wield them, how to make them work for you. Then you've got the secondary card here for where to find your clients. And then the secondary card here on the third one could be for how to make improvements to your weaknesses, how to, you know, really work on the stuff that you're not so good at. So you certainly could make this into a 9-card spread if you wanted to. If you're the kind of person that enjoys clarifying cards, or you just like to make sure that there is a card for each part of the question, you can absolutely do that. I think sometimes when we're reading for ourselves as well, more cards are better because we are less able to be objective. So whereas I'm quite comfortable to just riff off of my intuition and get those downloads and feel what's coming to me for the client, you know, I wouldn't be as comfortable to do that for myself if I was doing the True Readers spread for myself, because I can't be as objective about my own practice and where I am with stuff. You know, inevitably I'm going to have biases. So I think from that perspective, more cards can sometimes serve as that objectivity. But your mileage may vary on what you think about that. But that's my belief. I think sometimes when we're reading for ourselves, clarifying cards or more cards added to the spread can actually be, it can help us to get that objectivity and that distance that we need, rather than reading in too much to a card's meaning and basically deciding what the card's meaning is based on what our ego would like it to mean, you know? So moving on, the fourth spread position, which is the first of this bottom row, is the one big change which could generate more effective readings. So what is the one thing that you could do, that you could start doing, that you could either release or receive into your reading practice right now, that would help you be more effective and give better readings? So this card is really going to be an action card, and whatever comes out of that card, it's important for you to sit with it and really think to yourself, what change does this represent that I could implement now to the benefit of myself and the people that I'm doing readings for? And then the fifth spread position in this the middle part of the bottom row is which archetype you could channel more in your card slinging practice. So whatever comes through in this card, and it may be one archetype, it may be several, it may just be, you know, some strong themes that are coming through for you. Remember, archetypes are not just figures, they are also situations. Anything that is a common thing that we can see throughout all different kinds of human dynamics and relationships. You know, it doesn't just have to be a specific role that you're playing. It can be a specific scenario, or, you know, a specific kind of dynamic which is common, which we see over and over again in the human experience, and that could be an archetype that you need to channel more, you know. So really whatever comes through in this card is going to be really interesting, because it's about using symbolism and the transpersonal to inject and enhance your reading practice. So it's about going beyond your personal egoic experience of what you're doing with tarot, what kind of reader you are, etc., and plugging you into the power of an archetype, plugging you into those sacred powers that are available to you. And sometimes I think we can forget that we have access to those archetypes. We have access to that beautiful symbolic well of knowledge and wisdom. And so this card just kind of brings you back to that as a reader. And then the sixth and final card for this spread is your current potential for growth and how to kickstart it. So we end the reading looking basically at what is your potential for going forward, what is your potential for the future. Now, I'm not saying that this card is about all of the future until you shuffle off this mortal coil. It's really just looking at what is your potential right now for growth in the immediate future. It looks at how you could grow in the coming weeks and months. It looks at challenges that you could set yourself that would be really good for you and that you would be able to succeed in. It looks at different ways that you can expand your reading practice, some of which you may not have thought of, or you may be struggling to believe that you can actually do. So there's a lot of affirmation and confirmation and encouragement in this final card. And really it just shows you what you are capable of and then how to just really kickstart that so that you can start to lean into your potential and really own your potential. So that is the True Readers spread, which is for card slingers of every variety, whether you're pro, whether you're amateur, whether you work with Oracle, Angel or Tarot. It's really just a little card slingers spread. I have a feeling somebody is going to ask me if I think that this can be done with other kinds of things, like you could take these spread positions and use them maybe relating to your psychic ability or your ability as a witch. And you know what, I always think, if you come across a spread and you think this could be good but I need to tweak it, just fucking tweak it, you know, do what you want to do with it. I actually have another spread on my shop that's available for clients called the Divine Lightworker spread, which is much more to do with people that want to be of service, people that feel the call to help, to guide, to heal, to give talks, that kind of thing. And that really kind of leans into how to harness your power in that way and go forward in that way. So I've got that. I've also got a solitary witch reading. So for me, there would be no need to tweak the True Readers reading for like spiritual stuff either and spiritual progression, because I've got like the solitary witch reading, I've got the spiritual path reading. So I like to be pretty specific with what my readings are designed for. And the True Readers reading is just really something that came through to me very strongly the other night when I was thinking about what I would need from a spread as a reader. You know, if I really wanted to check in with my progress, with what I was doing, and with my potential for moving ahead, what would I want? And this is what came through. So I'm really hoping this has been useful and interesting. Please do feel free to take this spread idea, use it, tweak it if you fancy. But if you do put it out anywhere online or mention it anywhere online, then give me a shout out, give me some shine. I would really appreciate it. And also, just to let you know, I do sell this reading. I do sell the True Readers reading now over on my shop. If you feel like you would like, you know, this spread to be done for you and you would like to know what happens when I read these cards for you in these positions, then please do pop over to the purchase option. I'm going to leave it in the description box for you, and consider booking a reading with me, and we'll find out what kind of reader you are, what kind of reader you could be, your strengths, your weaknesses, and how to go forward from here. You can book your reading as a PDF delivered via email, a live Skype call, or a 30-minute pre-recorded private video. So there's 3 different options to choose from. You can choose the one that is best for your character, best for your sensibilities, best for your Myers-Briggs personality type. Just keep going, keep reading, keep slinging those cards. Much love, darlings. Blessed be.